Thanks for tuning in to this week's news recap. The Department of Justice seizes $3.36 billion in Bitcoin. The U.S. Department of Justice seized 50,000 Bitcoins from James Zhang, the hacker who stole from Silk Road, a dark web marketplace. The raid happened in November 2021 when the seized Bitcoin was worth $3.36 billion, which represents the second largest seizure in the history of the U.S. government. Additionally, Zhang pleaded guilty to wire fraud and could face up to 20 years in prison. OFAC updates its Tornado Cash sanctions. The U.S. Treasury's Office of Foreign Assets Control modified its sanctions against crypto mixer Tornado Cash, revoking the initial designation and redesignating to clarify what person Tornado Cash is. According to the redesignation, the entity known as Tornado Cash is the unincorporated association of Tornado Cash's founders, associated developers, and the Tornado Cash DAO. OFAC has not, however, designated any of those individuals at this time. CoinCenter's Peter Van Valkenburg tweeted that these changes do not alter the advocacy group's strategy in its lawsuit. The SEC wins its case against Library Credit. The Securities and Exchange Commission won its case against Library, a decentralized content hosting platform. A judge ruled that Library violated securities laws by selling its native LBC tokens as unregistered securities. Gabriel Shapiro, general counsel at Delphi Digital, tweeted, "The Library judge reasons that even if a team is completely silent about efforts, no promises, no contracts, but pre-mines tokens, that alone creates a sufficient expectation of profits from their efforts in common enterprise to pass the Howey test. Very bad result." Miles Jennings of A16Z had a very different take. Results of the Library case should be the final nail in the coffin of the utility token approach for most projects. An ICO and no credible claims of decentralization doesn't work. USDT trades at a discount. Amidst the FTX crisis, Tether's stablecoin USDT slightly lost its peg to the US dollar. USDT traded at a 3% discount, and it dropped to 93 cents for a few seconds on Kraken. The Tron DAO announced a purchase of over $1 billion of USDT to safeguard the overall blockchain industry and crypto market. OpenSea respects creator royalties. OpenSea, the largest NFT marketplace by trading volume, announced it will continue to enforce creator royalties on its platform. The announcement comes after many marketplaces decided to move to an optional royalties business model and may represent a relief for many creators. Miners are still in trouble. This week, Bitcoin miner Iris Energy defaulted on a $103 million equipment loan after the company disclosed it was in financial trouble. Moreover, Riot Blockchain, Marathon Digital, and Stronghold Digital Mining posted their third quarter results. All of them missed analyst estimates and their shares decreased in value. Mushegian's death. No evidence of foul play. Police in Puerto Rico have found no evidence of foul play in the death of Maker co-founder Nikolai Mushegian. Days before his death, Mushegian had tweeted that the CIA and Mossad will torture me to death. Inflation pushed crypto prices. During a negative week for the crypto markets, which lost over $200 billion in total market capitalization, the Consumer Price Index report was presented on Thursday. October's inflation came in lower than expected by analysts, and crypto prices rocketed, but not enough to make up for this week's losses. All right, time for fun bits. This week, some of you may have noticed that I tweeted that I thought it would be great to have a comedian give their take on the FTX debacle this week. I ended up commissioning Ginny Hogan, a stand-up comedian and author of I'm More Dateable Than a Plate of Refried Beans, to write and perform some jokes on what has been an absolute humdinger of a week. Please enjoy.
So I didn't follow crypto all that closely until I wound up in a relationship with a crypto engineer. He worked in an Ethereum startup. Well, I say it was a relationship. We were never official, and he wanted us to be. He would always ask me if I was dating other people, and I was always like, Josh, you of all people should understand the concept of an asset only having value because of how much other people want it. Okay, I saw what happened to Luna. I'm not going to let that be me. Yes, I'm dating other people. Okay, so because of him, unfortunately, I do still pay attention to the crypto markets. Crypto winter, where we've been for the last 11 months, started to heat up the other night. Whenever I hear about the crypto world fighting, I feel like it's that scene in Mean Girls in the gymnasium where Lindsay Lohan realizes that every subgroup has its own drama, even the huge, huge, huge losers. I'll say it up top, I think it's really fun when the crypto markets act like the regular financial markets. I don't like change, and it's kind of homey and comforting to know that a rerun of 2008 is coming up. It's nostalgic, like, let's put on the Friends finale. So here's to FTX, the Lehman of crypto. Okay, let's get into it. What we have is a war between two men who both go by their initials, CZ and SBF, both celebrities in the crypto world, and the guy you just swipe left on Hinge in the real world. CZ is basically the bad boy of crypto. He runs Binance, which is not, as the name suggests, finance for bisexuals. And he would never talk to DC regulators. He's super anti-regulation. He's in his mid-40s and left a traditional finance career to work in crypto, which I believe is what they call a lateral move. Think of him like James Dean, without the cool jacket, or cool personality, or cool anything. He's also, fun fact, partially responsible for funding Elon Musk's acquisition of Twitter, which I have mixed feelings about. I'm mad that he helped Elon buy Twitter, but I'm grateful that he's helping Elon go broke. SBF, the founder of FTX, was the good guy, which of course is how women describe men who can't get laid. He's super young and was sometimes called a crypto savior. That's right, like the crypto version of an essential worker. He promised to give away his billions of dollars, which, well, he just might have done. We'll get to it. So a week ago, he had $16 billion, which is insane because I saw a photo of him and I had no idea that getting a haircut cost $16,001,001. He's done a lot to raise his public profile, including a Vogue spread with Giselle, who, he was told 5 minutes before the shoot began, is a very famous model. All of that is to say, no one suspected SBF was doing anything shady with money. Giselle has never made a bad choice in her entire life. It started on Sunday. CZ tweeted that Binance was liquidating any remaining FTT, the coin issued by rival exchange FTX. Binance was once part of FTX, but it spun off like a malignant tumor. CZ claimed he had to dump the FTT. And listen, I think it's nice when crypto guys get to experience dumping things. Due to revelations about FTT, which we soon learned was that SBF was getting high on his own supply. And by that, I'm referring to crypto, not weed. They're very different. Weed is mostly legal. Someone discovered that Alameda, SBF's other firm, sometimes called its sister firm, making it one of very few women in crypto, held a huge amount of FTT, its own coin. And it turns out FTT was pretty illiquid. CZ said he needed to drop the FTT because he was learning from Luna, which is insane. I did not realize crypto people learn from their mistakes. Anyway, after Binance dumped all this FTT, 23 million coins, the price of FTT went crazy. Well, it went from $24 to $24.50 to $22.28 in just one day, which is, to be fair, not all that unusual for a crypto coin. Alameda then offered to buy FTT for $22 each, which seems weird. Like, if you're getting in trouble for holding too much of your own currency, don't buy another 23 million of that currency. That's like when I told my ex he was sleeping with too many women, and then he slept with 23 million other women. Just kidding. I've never had an ex who was successful at getting women to sleep with him. Did you miss the part about dating a crypto guy? Anyway, then on Tuesday, Binance agreed to buy FTX. Yeah, it turned out FTX was totally insolvent and people couldn't get their coins out. I've dated a crypto guy, so I know what it's like when they just can't perform. It's not a good situation. CZ offered to save crypto for now, and SBF got humbled. SBF, who once made his reputation bailing out troubled crypto firms, is now on the receiving end of the bailout. He lost 94% of his net worth. How's he going to keep himself afloat with a mere $994 million? A lot of people who will never have as much money as him are dunking on him for being poor. And honestly, I'm here for it. But even just in the last couple days, it turns out that CZ scrapped the whole deal. I guess his offer hinged on Binance first performing due diligence, which, of course, being a crypto exchange, meant they had to first learn what due diligence was. He said their problems were beyond his ability to fix, and then he tweeted out a list of advice for crypto users, one of which was to ignore the prices, which seems much easier to say when you have $1 billion on hand. FTX is now on the brink of collapse, and SBF said he needs $8 billion in emergency financing. I don't understand. Can't he just, mine for that? Anyway, recently, Justin and Sun announced he's going to find a way to return FTX and Tron users to normalcy. But I've met a lot of crypto guys, and I find that highly unlikely. A lot of people are concerned that this means that the crypto markets will have to follow the same rules as the traditional financial markets, but I assure you, it's not that many rules. Don't worry. You can still be SEC regulated and melt the entire economy, boys. The big banks do it all the time.
Thanks so much for joining us today. To learn more about the collapse of FTX, Eric, and Kobe, check out the show notes for this episode. Unchained is produced by me, Laura Shin, with help from Anthony Yoon, Mark Murdoch, Matt Pilchard, Juan Aranovich, Sam Sriram, Pam Majumdar, Shashank, and CLK Transcription. Thanks for listening.